Hi, Rafat.
Hi, how are you doing?
It's lovely. I'm doing very well. It's lovely for you to zoom into me at this time. I'm in the process of doing Durangos. Do
Oh,
you know what
really?
those are?
No, I have no
Do
idea
you know
about.
what those are? No.
No.
Here's some my grandchildren are making. They're not finished, but they're making these, and I have them aside. And here's another one. You see how they're not spherical, right? They're kind of kids made them, but they're learning. But I spent last winter studying the art of Duradango, which is making a perfectly shiny sphere out of mud. So I'm working on these. I have collected dirt and mud from the garden, and now I'm working on these, and you can see how my process has gotten pretty much perfectionized because they're perfect spheres now. I can't believe it only took me one winter to learn me how to make a perfect sphere, but I'm still in the process.
Looks like a
It's
ball.
quite not perfect. Yes, it does. And it looks like a ball like this, but it's made out of mud. But inside of these four I made are very special because I put a salt crystal inside of it. And so the salt crystal inside of it will become a gemone and become like something else that the elements will work together to create something else with inside itself. These are called Japanese Durangos, but I learned something about Japan I'm not happy about. Would you like me to talk about that?
Sure. What was it?
So basically, I'm going to work on these while I'm talking. Is that okay?
Sure. I have no problem.
Okay, so I will get to work then. So basically, I love Japanese and Chinese art. I love the way they decorate some outer, everything looks so clean in certain places I saw. I'm sure there's certain places in their country that aren't so proper, like in my country and a lot of countries. But this is a wonderful art that was called Japanese Durangos. So you take dirt and you form it. It takes a couple of days, like maybe a week to really perform it. So 3 days this has been sitting, forming, and I've been working with it intermittently while waiting for it to go through its own process. So I'll take water and I'll take this beautiful little with a beautiful design of birds on it.
What is that? Is it a cup?
It's a beautiful it's a beautiful little cup that you can use to create the perfect sphere. It took me a couple of cups to find the perfect one, but this one is just perfect. And it helps me to create a perfect sphere. Because if this does not roll on this thing without any spaces, if this does that means it's not a sphere. So you have to go and you have to make sure. And then I like to close my eyes and feel it. So I'm programming myself to feel what a perfect sphere feels like with closing my eyes and not using my sense of sight. And I'm just rolling it in my sense of touch and learning where the fear has fault. And that's what I do. And it's fun to create like that. But when I learned about Japan last night, Rafat, would you believe I was actually online just going through some studies about world matters and what's going on and what the elites are planning through the government. And I came across a documentary called The Cove. And The Cove is a place in Taiji, Japan, where they take dolphins and they capture them. And they capture them by using long rod metal poles and banging them to confuse the dolphins and to create fear in them because dolphins communicate by sound waves. And so what they do is they bang these and they collect them and then they call industries and corporations like SeaWorld, and they let trainers buy these animals, which are already stressed out because they're being separated from their babies and their families. And this is why a lot of murders happen when the animals they have captures murders humans during shows and during happenings, because they are in cement walls and they can't talk too much, dolphins, anymore when you capture them, because if they talk too much, that sound pings back at them and it drives them crazy. Like I can't do it now because I don't have anything. What can I use?
What is that? You are shaking.
It's just something banging the thing. This is what dolphins will hear when they're talking, when they talk with their sound frequencies. And they'll hear a chattering, clattering, and it confuses them and it makes them fearful. Like, what's going on? It's chaos, chaos. And it makes them run away from it into nets. And then they confine them there. And then they bring SeaWorld trainers in to buy these dolphins up, stealing them away from their families. And then after it's all done and they've got their money from that, they take them back to the Cove. I'm watching the documentary, The Cove, right now. And they are informing me. I'm finishing watching it. I started a few years ago, but I serve ignorance and I become ignorant and I forget about what's really important in life, but not anymore. Not anymore in these days. I'm very in tune. I'm in clarity. So upon watching this documentary, they bring the dolphins into a cove hidden from the public eye, and then they slaughter them in a brutal way. And the blood, and I took pictures of it. I screenshotted pictures of the blood-filled cove of murder and death because of money. And I learned that in Japan, some of the people spoke out, and they're risking their lives and their livelihoods speaking out because their hearts are touched, their consciousness clicks in saying this is wrong. And they spoke out on the documentary saying that they're making it mandatory that this dolphin meat is put in school lunches. So they're going to make kids love dolphins and then feed them the dolphins. At the dolphin shows in Japan, did you know that they take dolphin meat and serve it to them to eat while they're enjoying the dolphin show?
Oh,
What if they
really?
took human meat and served that to people at the ball games?
I
And
didn't
so
know
that we
that.
can watch. I didn't know that far into it either, because I have just decided to watch further into a documentary I started years ago, and I started to continue. It came up on my algorithm, and I'm like, I might as well finish watching this documentary, and I might as well finish doing that and learning more about what this guy did. So the guy who did this documentary, there's a famous USA TV show called Flipper. Well, one of the dolphins, they used 5 dolphins for that show. And one of the dolphins was named Kathy. Her real name was Kathy. That's my sister's name. I take that name personally because it's my sister's name, Kathy. And so this dolphin was captured by this man and used and trained in the production of the big movie, the TV series Flipper, Flipper. That's how it started. And they have a whole song introducing it. But she was depressed. She was sad. And after all those years of running her game and the 4 other dolphins involved, because they would use different dolphins for different things. They all have their talents as well, you know.
Yeah.
So they used 5 different dolphins, and this one dolphin, Kathy, went up into this guy's arms. His name is Bill something, I think, but I'm not sure. I just got into it, so I'm restudying everything, and I will learn it and learn their names. But she went up, she went into his arms, and he was holding her into his arms, and she looked right into his eye, and she took her last breath and died. And he made me aware that that is their way of communicating. I could take my life at any time, yet I choose to take it now in your arms because you're helping to save, eventually like it was her message to her, like, please help my dolphin family, help them. And she took her last breath and committed suicide right in his arms.
It's really
The
sad.
reason why whales and dolphins beach them. What?
It's really sad to see.
What did you say?
I said that it's really
It's very
sad.
sad.
Yeah.
It's sad to see that they're going to be cutting up if you can see the picture, it's just a cove away from the public eye. But these guys climbed up, they risked their lives climbing up into the mountains to take these live things. And when they took their video to one of the officials, the only thing they had to say after watching the murder of all these thousands of dolphins, 10,000 a year, I think they do this too. But instead of saying, oh my God, this is horrific, he said, when and where did you take these videos? That was the official. When and where did you take these videos? Like almost in a denial. Like how could Japan do something so cruel? It is an awful thing, and they're putting it into the kids' school lunches by now, and they're all eating it. And at these events, they're serving dolphin meat, and we're watching them be. Um, the dolphins are becoming entertainment.
Oh,
Look at these cows out here. Do you think these cows have a good life? I'm sure they were tearing away from their families, but at least here on this land, we feed them fresh vegetables from the garden we grow. They love okra, and they come to eat the grass and keep it low. We don't have to mow or whatever you call that big machine that comes to just manage the land, and they'll be eating it down. But these cows were torn away from their families. There is one out there with their with their baby, but as soon as that baby's old enough, they will rip it away, not knowing that cows are very social animals. They cry for a long time when their babies are taken away from them because we want to drink their milk. If you want to drink cow milk, have a cow on your farm. Take some milk from it, make your cheese, make whatever makes you happy, but let the baby stay with the mother. Let that baby stay. And don't have to buy it in supermarkets because everybody has their own cow if they like cows, and the people who don't can come to us or come to anywhere and get some fresh milk. But now farmers are very aware now because one farmer online is really upset because they are poisoning their cows and they've been eating the meat of their cows. I don't agree with eating meat at all, but that's another podcast. We don't need it. So why do it if you don't need it? Why, if the cow said, oh, I want to be a hamburger, or yeah, I'd love to be a steak on your plate. I can't wait to die. When the cow says that, then you can fucking kill it. But if the cow does not say, and they don't because they're crying the minute they are taken from their families. We don't think that animals have a consciousness, but they do. And I have to live on this planet and watch this happening all around me. And people expect me to be, why aren't you happy? Why aren't you inspirational? Why? Because I'm looking at what really is going on here. So I don't want to pretend. I don't want to make the best life for myself, knowing that those cows were torn away from their families. How shameful of us. What if it happens to humans? Oh, then we'll make a big fuss about it, won't we? Won't we make a big fuss when our children are being taken away for maybe some food because we know humans eat food, other humans out there, but that won't be okay. But we will get our recompense because some days we will have no animals because they're germing them up. That man, that farmer is so afraid because his family has been eating the meat that has been poisoned by water washing down and their cows drinking that water with poisons in it. And now they've been eating that meat, so they don't know. He's like, I don't know what conditions me and my kids are going to come up with. And this is how we have to live because of the ones who want to poison, to do genocide. Japan, they are making the murderous death of thousands and thousands upon thousands of dolphins.
Oh,
Look at that. And then putting them in places where they can't even speak much anymore until they come out of their captive. They're used to talking underwater. They're used to talking underwater and sending their things, but it pings back to them
how
from the
is it
terrible
possible?
cement walls are awful.
How is it possible?
Pardon me?
How is it possible to talk underwater?
Dolphins can speak underwater because that's
Oh,
their
I heard
environment.
that.
Humans can also
Sorry, I thought
humans
that you were talking about human beings. Sorry.
humans can also talk underwater. First of all, if you hooked up electrodes to them, some type that can go underwater, their bodies talk. Their bodies have a language. Our bodies have a language. Our cells have a language. You would hear all of that. Plus, we can actually open our exhale and speak underwater where it would form bubbles. Dolphins will make bubbles in the water, underwater, and play with them and make rings in the water and play with them and break them apart and make new rings. We, as humans, we may also, if we're knowledgeable, some people will drown when they try to do it because they don't know how, but you can actually talk underwater. I could say all these words underwater just by learning how to hold my breath, not having to exhale, and just putting out the exhale. So you'd have to be a good breath holder, which you can learn from Wim Hof. Wim Hof will teach you to hold your breath very well. Once you can hold your breath very well, here I just did it, right? I just took a deep breath, plus I'm holding it. And now I'm going to talk to you on one breath that I don't have to take any more other breaths. I could just let it all flow from this in many words where other people would have to take a breath. And then you can just let it out slowly and talk and just take on one breath and control every aspect of your life while you're speaking. And that's how we could speak like this on one breath. It's how I can hold a long note in my music. Dolphins can do that and put out, they'll send out signals in the water. And if it's pinging back to them at a non-natural rate, it can form confusion where they become unhappy, where they kill their trainers because they've gone insane, because the insaners have, the people have put them in a captivity. The insaners, I call them the insaners. These people are insaners. Like here, while I was watching the documentary, it said, you either are an activist or an inactivist. So in the documentary, the guy said this. He goes, I'd rather be an activist. Somebody that this other guy brought along said, I'd rather be an activist and stop this than let it to continue because it's cruelty. And from cruelty comes nothing good. From cruelty, the only people who benefit are the elites, the higher ups who don't care about any of that. There are people fighting to keep that in motion, to keep the killing of the whales and the dolphins in motion. It's pest control, they say. Okay, you're killing so many and feeding it to school kids' lunches now. They're eating something they shouldn't be eating. It does not have scales. It's a scaleless fish like sharks and whales. You shouldn't be eating those things. You shouldn't be harming them. They are intelligent. We shouldn't be taking all their fish. That's their food, not ours. We have become very mistaken on this planet. We don't understand. We're trying to make people understand. I find myself saying, do you understand what I'm telling you? Do you really get it? Do you understand what's going on? You try to talk to some Americans about Americans, they're so programmed they cannot. even fathom going against the tyranny America has done to other countries. And now, when those other countries come back at us or leave us alone and now destitute and don't help us, we're still going to look at them as bad, but they should leave us alone because America has been trying to overtake every country. It's like the game that's out there, Risk. It's a board game, Monopoly, Life. They want you to play those games so that you can play to their system. And the game of Risk is a war game, and your job is to conquer the whole world and run it the way you want. That's what they're doing. That's a board game. People play that for entertainment. I, I do very well at it. I win it. But I'm not going to win it for the side of tyranny. I'll tell you, I'll win it for the side of peace, prosperity for all. Not this class game, oh, they're supposed to be poor. It doesn't have to be that game. That's so our taxes will go up and we'll never get ahead here as the common folk. We will not. Because what do you think? We have to pay those tariffs. We've always had to pay those tariffs. It's not a new game, it's an old game running its program over and over again. This is what happens here.
Yeah.
And this is why I have to play with Durangos, because the only thing that feels real to me here is the planet Earth and how she feeds us, and then how they poison her, and how she can't feed us all the time in certain places because it's so poisoned. Find the people poisoning the land, find the culprits. Let us live a beautiful life, is what I say, Rafat. What do you say?
Yes, I agree with you because they need to find out the people who are trying to destroy our land. That's necessary to know.
That's it. Stand up against them, they're done and over with.